In my life, I've heard a lot of hurtful things. Some were even said to me directly, like, "You're single, what a loser." But honestly, nothing felt worse than what my brother-in-law said about me. I can't just ignore his nasty comments. My name's Emily Johnson. I'm 38, single, and working hard. You might wonder, if I'm not married, why do I have a brother-in-law? That's because I'm engaged. My fiancé, Ethan Miller, is 6 years younger than me. We met through a mutual friend and instantly clicked. I have a really busy job and sometimes have to work on my days off. I met Ethan during one of those crazy work times, and when I'm with him, I finally get to relax. Ethan's great at cooking, sewing, and he works hard, things I'm not so good at. After we moved in together, he took care of the house chores and even cleaned my suit, which was a huge help. I always feel a little bad and tell him, "I know you're busy too. I booked a table at a nice restaurant for my next day off. Let's have dinner together." Usually, I treat Ethan like this to thank him for all his hard work, using the money I earn. But Ethan always says, "Don't worry about it. I can leave work on time, and I'm not nearly as busy as you. Plus, I actually enjoy doing the housework." We talked about plans for a family dinner party we were going to have soon. We'd already met each other's parents after getting engaged, but now we wanted both families to get together. Ethan has an older brother, and I have 2 younger siblings. Instead of waiting for the wedding, both families wanted to meet beforehand. So, we planned a dinner with parents and siblings. Ethan told me, "Sorry, my brother can't come because of work. I know you're busy too, so please understand." I asked, "Isn't your brother a really talented lawyer?" Ethan nodded. I said, "I wish I could meet him, but if he's busy, it's okay. We can meet at the wedding." Ethan seemed a little worried, saying, "My brother can be pretty cold to people, so even if he comes, he might be rude." When the party day arrived, my brother-in-law wasn't there, and Ethan looked relieved. My brother and sister were there, and the party was really fun. My parents-in-law and I enjoyed ourselves, and my siblings seemed to get along with Ethan, which made me happy. It was a great chance for everyone to connect, and I really wished I'd met my brother-in-law too. But later, when I finally did meet him, I realized he was actually quite rude. Honestly, it was probably better I didn't meet him at that party after all. My mom and I were at the university hospital. One day, my mom wasn't feeling well, so after visiting a nearby clinic, she was sent to the hospital for some thorough tests. She only had some palpitations and dizziness, nothing too serious, but I wanted to be safe, especially since the wedding was coming up. My mom's in her mid-60s but looks younger. Still, she could have been diagnosed with something serious at any moment. She waited a long time to get married, only in her 40s, and I felt grateful to her for raising my brothers and sisters so well. I told her, "Mom, why don't I pay for a full checkup? It's what I've been working for, and I want to help because I can't always be there for the family." Since the tests couldn't be done in one day, we had to go to the hospital several times. On the second visit, something awful happened. That day, the hospital was super crowded and busy. My mom and I found a spot away from the main waiting area where we could sit and have some tea. While I was sipping tea with her, my phone rang. It was probably work. I left my tea with her and went somewhere quiet to take the call. It was about work, checking if I'd be changing my last name once I joined the family register. After the call, I came back and suddenly heard shouting. "What's going on? Is Mom okay?" I worried. I rushed over and saw my mom standing and bowing repeatedly to a man in a suit. Who was he? He looked proud and serious, wearing an expensive suit, fancy watch, and shoes, his hair slicked back. He seemed like a debt collector or someone who was there to cause trouble. I asked, "Excuse me, did my mom do something wrong?" He looked me up and down and then said, "She put her tea on the chair and it spilled on my suit." He seemed annoyed and added, "What are you going to do about it?" "I have business after this." I noticed his suit was a bit damp and tried to apologize. "I'm really sorry, I'll pay for the dry cleaning." But he just shouted louder, drawing attention from nearby nurses and people. Finally, he said, "I'll let it go for just the cleaning fee. Do you have contact info?" I didn't have a business card with me that day. A security guard came over and asked if we were okay. The man threw his business card on the floor and said, "Make sure you call me. You can't run away." I'm close with this hospital, and they'll give me your info." I was shocked. What was going on? Both Mom and I felt terrible. When I tried to stand up for us, the man insulted me, saying things like, "You're single at your age, you're expired, like garbage, a single woman." He was so rude. Before I could reply, he ran off to avoid the security guard. I was so angry and disappointed that I couldn't protect my mom. I thanked the people who came to help and picked up the business card. Curious, I looked at his name and title. Now it all made sense. I canceled the checkup and took my mom home to focus on her mental health. I'll never forget that man. I promised myself I'd make him regret what he said to us. About a week later, I went to the courthouse. I wasn't there to sue him for a stained suit or anything crazy like that. While walking through the halls, I saw him coming toward me. I wondered what to say. As he passed, he sneered, "You're that trashy single woman from the other day, right?" I couldn't believe it. "What are you doing here?" "This place isn't for you," he said. It was the same rude man from the hospital. I wanted to snap back, but I kept calm. I said politely, "I'm sorry about the other day. You must be Mark Davis from Richard Harris Law Office." I remembered the business card he threw at me. He got mad and started ranting about the suit, saying, "I had a client appointment after that, and you embarrassed me. How could a woman like you stain my suit and then not call?" He was a lawyer, and it was just bad luck that we met there. Because he was yelling, people around us were staring. Mark Davis kept insulting me loudly, probably to show off. If he kept it up, I'd have to call security. There are a lot of men like this in the legal world. I shook my head, and that just made Davis even more annoyed. Then, someone behind me spoke up, "Mr. Davis, what's going on?" A man came over and asked Davis what was wrong. When Davis saw him, he suddenly changed his tone and muttered, "Oh no, not this woman." The man took out a business card and looked at me, surprised. I picked it up. It was from attorney Ethan Miller, partner at Richard Harris Law Office. This had to be Davis's boss and the firm's CEO. As soon as he realized who I was, he bowed deeply. "Wow, it's been a while," he said. "Davis, my assistant, was very rude to you." Mr. Harris looked furious and grabbed Davis by the collar, forcing him to bow. "Ouch! What are you doing?" Davis complained. Mr. Harris whispered angrily, "How dare you, Davis? She's a prosecutor and my former boss, Emily Johnson, who wins every case she handles." Davis couldn't believe the single woman he insulted was a respected prosecutor. I explained, "Yes, I'm a lawyer. Since I was a kid, I couldn't stand injustice. I wanted to catch criminals, but if I couldn't do it myself, I'd bring them to justice through the law. Now, I work in prosecution after a colleague invited me to advance my career. I'm often busy in court. By the way, Mr. Harris fears me a little because I mentored him when he was new. He's serious but loyal because of our bond." Davis was stunned and wanted to say something, but I stopped him. I told Mr. Harris, "You've become a great man." Then I said to Davis, "I'll pay for the cleaning right away. Sorry for being so busy with work. Is that okay, brother-in-law?" Davis froze and said, "Brother-in-law? No way. Ethan's fiancé." I looked back at the business card he'd thrown at me. It hit me. This rude man was my brother-in-law, the one who missed the wedding because of work. His face went pale. I said firmly, "As a lawyer, you know calling a single woman garbage is an insult. I was willing to pay the dry cleaning fee, but your behavior was unacceptable. You could be fined or even face jail time for this. Which do you prefer?" I smiled as Davis dropped to his knees and bowed, realizing he was in serious trouble. "Please forgive me before this gets to the press," he begged. I guess assertive lawyers know how powerful the media can be. Some time later, I had a wonderful wedding and am enjoying married life even more. Ethan Miller is now a full-time house husband, so I can focus more on work and family. My brother-in-law apologized many times to my mom and me and wanted to settle the issue. But I told him to forget about the dry cleaning bill. I can handle that myself. He didn't come to the ceremony, probably because he felt awkward. His business has suffered a lot due to his bad attitude and complaints from others. I guess bad behavior always comes to light. I promise myself to protect my life and keep supporting my family no matter what.